Hey guys, it's Jen. Welcome back. So, yesterday was International Overdose Awareness Day, and the response from you guys was amazing. So, thank you. I really appreciate. I've gotten so many messages yesterday on people who either want Narcan or fentanyl test strips or who just, had questions or didn't know certain things. So that outpour was amazing. And I just want to thank you. And so many of you guys wore purple and supported us. So that's beautiful. And I appreciate it so much. And I have some really big information for you guys that I'm super proud of and excited for. I have merchandise and I got a cup, so I'm super excited about that. Today, I'm going to talk to you guys a little bit about how I first became an addict, actually. I don't think a lot of you know that. So, how I started on my pathway to my addiction was I got a prescription for hydros. I went to the doctor. I was experiencing back pain, and I was in my early 20s, and I was living in Long Island, New York. This is before I moved upstate. And my doctor just was like, here, sure, take these. And I was like, oh, okay, sure. The doctor gave them to me. They must be safe. They must be okay, right? So I took them. I never knew what an opioid was or an opiate. I never knew what addiction was. I never knew it was a disease. I didn't know any of that. Like at this point in time, to me, I thought of addicts as like old white people, mostly men who were like alcoholics or, like lower class people that were crackheads. That's like literally that was my fundamental information and way of thinking of what addiction really was. Boy, was I wrong. So I continued to take this medication for, I had a standing appointment every 2 weeks, month. I took them all day, every day. I knew nothing different. And then I ran out. And I called the doctor to make a prescription because I didn't make an appointment, for a new prescription because I didn't feel well. And the receptionist was like, he's on vacation, honey. I don't know what to tell you. And I was like, oh my God, but I need my medicine. Like, what's happening? Like, can you call me? And she was like, that's a narcotic. We can't just call you in a refill till he gets back. She was like, why don't you try calling and going to detox? I didn't even know what that word meant. I said, what do you mean, detox? What's that? I never knew anything like that. At the time, I was working in a bar, so I asked around. Lo and behold, someone sold me some pills. As soon as the doctor came back, I went in and I was like, your nurse is very rude. She told me I'm addicted to these things. I don't even know what that means. This is a prescription. He was like, oh, well, you must be then. So he's like, I can't give them to you anymore. And that was how I caught my beginning of street knowledge on buying drugs and what was available. I was very closed-minded before that as far as being like sheltered and stuff. I mean, I smoked weed one time when I was like 16 and I was so scared my parents were going to find out. I never smoked it again. I think I was like 18 the first time I ever like tried ecstasy and freaked out because I was so scared of what was going to happen. I was very naive at that point in time in my life. So for years after that, I continued to buy pills illegally because I worked in an industry where that was readily available. I tried cocaine for the first time the night of my 21st birthday, and I hated it. But yeah, continued to do it for years. I've never liked cocaine, ever. But, it was readily available. For some reason, cocaine is always readily available. So I've always done it. But opiates really were my true love. And then when I moved up here into Delaware County, that's when I first met heroin. I couldn't find any pills, and I met heroin. And my ex-boyfriend, who is now deceased, he ended up taking his own life. I was so sick, I couldn't leave the bathroom. And he was like, well, kind of sort of have something that will help you, but you're not going to like how it is. And I was like, I don't care. What is it? he was like, well, he's like, I have some heroin. And I was like, no, I'll be fine. I was still so sick, like 20 minutes later, I still couldn't leave the bathroom. He was like, well, see, problem is my brother and I used it this morning and we shot it. So it's in liquid form in a syringe. And I was like, what? And I was so sick. I was like, fuck it, let's go. And he shot me up. And it was the best, worst day of my life. Because literally that's all it took to make me be an addict. Like literally, I fell in love. And I battled my addiction with heroin for probably, let's see, I was probably, probably like 11, 12 years. Ironically, this November, I'll have 11 years clean from heroin. Thank God. But yeah, I have a love-hate for everything that I went through. I hate it because obviously, I mean, not a lot of it was good, but I love it because I am the strong, feisty woman that I am today because of it. You know, I try and use all the things that I went through as like stepping stones, like to keep rising up to the top, because I've had some shit go on that I could just lay down and be like, yeah, no, I'm just not going to do it anymore. You know, like I give up, time's up, not going to do it anymore. I'm just going to lay down. And I just refuse to be that person. So if I continue to use everything that happened in my life as like a learning lesson and continue and keep pushing forward and keep going, then it was all worth something. You know, it wasn't until years later that I picked up methamphetamine. Like I went to prison, came home, was sober, relapsed, back on heroin. Went to prison. Like this second time that I went to prison is the time that Jess and I were starting our friendship, and she ended up like living with me right before I went. And she's the one actually, her and Randy took me to court to go surrender myself and stuff. So that time, like after I went to that prison bid and then I came home, got pregnant, and then got that violation, like within 35, 45 days, I never picked up heroin ever again since then. And that was in 2010. I got sober from heroin in 2009. I never touched it again. But I came home, I came home, got pregnant, got the violation, got locked up, had Bella, came home, had almost 5 years, I think, maybe, of sobriety. And then, I went back out there, and I don't have a problem with alcohol. So I said, I'm going to go to the bar and I'm going to meet some friends and I'm going to have a couple of drinks. And I did. And drinking is not my issue, but it lowers my inhibitions, and it tells me that it's okay to have that line of cocaine. And that's what happened. And I started doing coke, even though I still don't like it. And I met some cool people that were still very active in their addiction and whatever. And then probably like a month or two into that little beginning part of my relapse, that's when I met my husband, and he was sober from alcohol but still doing cocaine. And I was like, well, fuck it, if he's doing some cocaine, it's okay, I'm gonna do some too, right? This is normal, this is what adults do. I still owned my own business, I still got up every morning, functioned, was a mom, it was cool because I was productive. Okay. And this is how my relationship with Jared went. We went to work, we did cocaine. We went to work, we did cocaine. And it became a pattern. And it became very tumultuous in our relationship. I'm not a good hungover person at all. Like the day after drinking and doing coke, I don't even like myself. Like I want to crawl out of my own skin and choke myself. It's horrible. I just can't deal with it's terrible. And he's not a happy camper either, but he's a lot nicer than me, to be quite honest. And this is how our relationship went until someone introduced me to methamphetamines. And I was like, there's the golden ticket, buddy. We're not doing cocaine anymore. And he was like, no, 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 no. And then that's how I came up with the bright idea. We're going to sell methamphetamines today. And he was like, this is not a good idea. And I was like, I don't care. We're going to do this anyway. So that's what ended up happening. And, you know, we all get caught. So I just wanted to share a little bit of that with you guys. I will go more into detail in the next video, and I'm going to probably try and do some more lives toward the end of this week, so look for me. Bye!